Good morning. You're watching PA Harness Week. I'm Sharla McBride. We begin this week's show with heavy hearts for driver Anthony Coletta. He was seriously injured during a race here last Sunday at Harris, Philadelphia, and is in serious condition. We'll update you on his condition, but we'll also tell you a little bit about what you can do to help him and his family. That's coming up next, plus all of the highlights you can handle on this week's edition of PA Harness Week. Coming up, the harness racing community is coming together to help driver Anthony Coletta, what his fellow drivers are doing for him, and what you can do to help. The details next. Plus, I'll catch up with driver Tetrick, who is undergoing his second hip replacement at the young age of 31. And finally, we head to Dover for the Matron finals. Those highlights and more are next. Racing's fastest paced half hour starts right now on Comcast Sportsnet.
There they go. Explosive Matter wins the Colonial easily. Underway. Starting fast outside here is Brent Messenger to the early. Five and four the halftime. Just over 3 to go. At the top of the stretch.
Hello there, harness racing fans, and welcome to another edition of PA Harness Week. Along with Heather Vitale, I'm Steve Ross. You know, normally we get to races, we cover the races. That's what you tune in for. Today, something else is making news and grabs our attention. There was a bad spill here at Harris, Philly on the 11th race on Sunday. 4 drivers, 4 horses went down. The horses are okay. 3 of the drivers are okay. One of the drivers, not so well. He remains in critical condition as we speak right now in a local hospital, and he is in God's hands. His name is Anthony Coletta. Your hopes and prayers, please, should go out for him. Heather, I want to mention the outpouring of love and attention and affection for somebody a lot of people don't even know.
Oh, it's absolutely amazing. If you're on Facebook or any kind of social media, you will see that people are changing their profile pictures to Anthony, and people are sending a lot of prayers and love to him. I also want to mention that we won't be showing the race. So if that's what you're looking for, we're not showing it, and we do want to thank Channel 6 also for being very classy, not showing the race. I don't think anybody really needs to see the race. I think the bottom line is one of our own has been hurt, and he needs your prayers. And they're taking up donations as well at the track. A lot of drivers, owners, trainers, people outside of the business are sending in donations to help out with the medical bills. I can't imagine what his family is going through right now. And we got to talk with Yannick Gingras. He was one of the first people that I saw that said on Facebook, look, I'm with you, Anthony. I'm giving my 5% to you. So we're going to talk to Yannick first, and then another horseman, Anthony DeFrancesco, who's a good friend of Anthony, and he's been visiting him in the hospital every day.
Yannick, let's start out by talking about the person Anthony Coletta. I didn't know him that well. What kind of guy is he?
Oh, he's a good kid. You know, he's just getting started. You know, he's an aggressive driver like I am. You know, so I see myself a little bit in him, like when I was his age, or even maybe younger than he is now. But no, he's a good person and just trying to make a name for himself.
The outpouring of affection and prayers for him, does it overwhelm you on Facebook and Twitter?
Well, I mean, I think everybody's a little bit surprised, not so much about Anthony, but about the whole industry sticking for somebody, for someone, anyone. You know, I mean, but that's the kind of industry we are. Like when somebody's in trouble, I think it's not the first time that they rally behind someone, and I'm very proud to be part of it.
Yes, you are part of it. I saw you as being the first person on Facebook saying, you know what, I got to do something for this kid. You know, the medical bills are going to be out of the roof, you know. So a lot of people have come forth that didn't even know Anthony, right, and saying, we're going to help this guy out.
Absolutely, but I don't want to take any credit. No, really the first person that got it started is Anthony DeFrancesco. Like, he's the one that really got it started. The only thing I did is send him a personal message on Facebook saying I was going to give my 5%. And then he snowballed from there. Like, he put it out there, Anthony did. And then Racehorse Gold is the first one that matched it, and he just snowballed from there. You know what I mean? So, like, believe me, there's no credit on my part. No, I just try to give my 5%, and it turned out to be a bigger thing than I ever imagined it was going to turn into be.
You seem to be the go-to guy to find out how Anthony's doing. So why don't you give us an update?
Currently, as of this morning, Anthony is still in critical condition. He's breathing on his own. He's going to go through a couple procedures today to see if they could stop some bleeding that's going on internally. And other than that, we're just we're praying that things turn around in the future.
For those of us who want to keep up with how he's doing, how can we find that out?
Most people have been either calling me or they could follow my Facebook. I give as many updates as I possibly could. I mean, that's probably the best two ways. I mean, we're trying to keep people from calling the family and contacting the family. They need to focus on Anthony right now.
Oh, yeah, understandably. You just mentioned Facebook. Are you, like, completely overwhelmed at the reaction to this and the love that's coming out?
To say the least. It's nonstop. I've learned the last night or two to sleep through my phone blinging every time somebody sends an inbox or comments on a post or something. It's incredible. It really is.
And finally, for those out there who want to make a donation, I know the medical expenses are going to be through the roof. Not only do we need prayers, but we do need donations for Anthony. Where can they send donations?
Currently, right now, the donations are being sent to Anthony Coletta at my address at 2551 South Mildred, Mildred Street, Philadelphia, PA 19148. In the future, we are in the process right now of setting up a Stay Strong Coletta fundraiser to where people will be able to send their money right to the bank, and it'll go directly into the account.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for stepping up, and everybody else who is giving their love and their cash. There's going to be enormous medical bills for Anthony Coletta. He's in God's hands. May God take care of him and get him well quickly. Okay, stay with us. When we come back, we'll have racing action from Mohegan Sun of Pocono Downs. Don't go away.
Nordic Venture with Katie Miller in the bike has the lead.
Feel the action. Get a taste of victory. Spice things up. And play to win.
Get it!
Mohegan Sun, off-track wagering. Allentown, Carbondale, East Stroudsburg. Always leave happy.
Hello there, and welcome back to PA Harness Week, along with Heather Vitale. I'm Steve Ross. It is time now to go to Mohegan Sun of Pocono Downs. The very first race on Friday was a special race. It was the Mildred Williams, and Heather will have that for you.
Yes, the Mildred Williams driving event is named for a very legendary woman who was driver. Oh, is her last name Williams? Okay. Anyway, Mildred Williams was a driver, and she's one of the trailblazers in the sport. And they have now before Beef Farber,
before Joanne Looney.
Joanne Looney,
oh,
yes,
my goodness.
absolutely. Now, this is a really great race because all of the ladies in here are drivers, or all the drivers in here are ladies, okay? And they are donating their 5%, their winnings, to the PA chapter for the Komen for Cure, which of course helps with breast cancer research. I do want to mention the person that put this together, one of the drivers of the race, is Megan Fortna, and she did an incredible job getting this race together. So let's see how these ladies do.
Half 57-1, 29-2 second panel Nordic Venture. The 2-5 favorite is still the shot caller here, looking for a third win in the last four, leads it by about a length and a quarter now. Jailhouse Cameron taking closer notice once again in the pocket. Northern Inferno had been saving ground, now tips to the outside, and that gives a little bit of cover there to Miss Wap Balbin. Then on the inside, fifth, moving up steadily is Intimidator, a big gap to the rest, led by Divas Photo. Three quarters, 126-3, 29-2 third panel. It's been a good rate job there by Katie Miller, as now Nordic Venture will face a stiff challenge from the pocket and Jailhouse Cameron. Northern Inferno patiently on the inside with Miss Wap Balbin fourth. Top of the stretch, Miller trying to get more out of Nordic Venture, but Jailhouse Cameron on even terms now steps on by. It's Jailhouse Cameron and Natasha Day going to win this Mildred Williams race. Jailhouse Cameron.
Jailhouse Cameron got a great trip, ends up winning a 157 flat with Natasha Day in the sulky in this trot. The trotter is trained by Joe Agostino. Breast cancer survivors were in the winner's circle for this great event. Also, Barbara Barbara Fortna, who is the mom of Megan Fortna, who put this together. Barbara is a breast cancer survivor, so this whole race was really important for Megan and for her mom, and again, great job. So let's hook up with Kelly Connors, and she's talking with the winning driver.
We have the winner of the Mildred Williams Series here at Mohegan Sun at Pocono down to Natasha Day. Natasha, first off, congratulations. Take us through this race tonight from your perspective in the driver's seat.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, I pretty much thought when I drew 2, I thought I had a good chance in the race. We knew the 5 had good gate speed, so my main aim was to try and cross the 1 and stay on the 5's back as long as I could. He started to come back to me a little bit up the back and around the corner, and I just thought, you know what, I was full of horse. I just pulled him out, and he trotted home in a new career best. So yeah, he took a new lifetime mark.
Now, I understand you're from Australia. You could tell from the accent. That kind of gave you away. But do you drive pretty often? Do you train?
I've training a few horses here at the moment. Got a stable of 3. Got a good owner. So everything's starting to work along good. Had a winner a couple of weeks ago for the first start from a trainer. So yeah, and a 3rd last night at Yonkers. Yeah, I'm looking for outside drives. I look for outside horses. So I work for Ross Krogan as second trainer, and everything's just working along really nicely at the moment.
Well, what is it like to be out there? If you've driven in the past up against the guys, but tonight you're on the track and it's all female drivers.
I find it easier. I really do. I find it's quite enjoyable because, you know, it's just not so much pressure on, I feel. So, yeah, it's good.
It's few and far between to find female drivers. So how important is it, and why do you like to drive, and why would you encourage others?
It's just something that, you know, in Australia there's a lot of female drivers and they're leading drivers and they mix it with the boys like anything else. It's surprising over here that there's not many more females, and you know, I think there should be. There should be a lot more girls getting into it, and I think they should encourage more girls to get into it, to drive and to train and to really get behind them.
That's awesome. And tonight's race, obviously raising money and awareness for the Susan G. Komen Foundation and breast cancer awareness. And what does it mean to be a part of a race that's obviously doing some good as well?
It means a lot. I mean, I've had friends that have died from breast cancer and things like that. So, you know, it's personal. So, and I think every female sees it as personal as well, because you never know when it could happen to you. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on the big win and a celebratory night. Natasha Day, thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
We'll send it back to you guys.
Thank you, Kelly, and thank you, Natasha. Can Boris be far behind? You know Natasha and Boris?
I think she's Australian.
No, this is Rocky and his friends. What are you talking about? Rocky and his friends. All right, more racing action now from Mohegan Sun at Pocono Downs. Saturday's 3rd was a conditioned trot for winners over $25,000 in their lifetimes. 23 dimes on the line. Number 1, DW's NY Yank with Matt Kakaley was 1-2. Number 3, World Cup was 3-1 with Ron Pierce. Number 4, Tax Delight, or in my case, Tic Tac Delight, because I can't get enough Tic Tacs. I actually need a 12-step program. With Simon Allard was 7-2, and with a call, Jim Baviglia.
DW's NY Yank out in front, which is where he likes to operate, leads by about a length over World Cup, staying very tight to the leader. Now Tax Delight first over for Simon Allard, making some solid progress here. Coming up on DW's NY Yank pretty fast there. Southwind Warsaw behind that live cover is now 2 away. Then it's Tober on the inside. Super Manning starts to get in gear. They've all got a shot at 3/4, 124 and 3, 27 and 4 in the back. It's still DW's NY Yank facing a stiff challenge here from Tax Delight. Second over Southwind Warsaw. World Cup still there in the pocket. Super Manning and Tober looking for room. Top of the stretch, DW's NY Yank now gets the lead back by a length over Tax Delight. Inside, World Cup is closing strong. Late kick from Southwind Warsaw. DW's NY Yank. DW's NY Yank.
DW's NY Yank got parked to the quarter in 27-4 before clearing. He set the pace from there and was all out to hold off Tax Delight to win it by the length of about 6 or 7 Tic Tacs in 1:52 and 1. Number 2, Southwind Warsaw, longest shot of the board off at 29-1, got 3rd, and that was Saturday's 8th at Pocono. Here's Heather.
Right here, we've got now winners of $17,500. Last 5 starts, the purse is $19,000. Number 4 is Escape the News. He is the favorite here, just won last time out at Harris Philly. Number 2 is A Sweet Ride. Second choice, taking a step down in class. And number 7, Yo Cheyenne Rocky has Hall of Fame driver Ron Pearson the Sulky.
Escape the News trying to hold off Maytime Terror, who's just a head back, and Escape the News now stretches that lead out back a little bit to about a half. Silent Swing looking for another move here in the pocket. A Sweet Ride getting backed up by faltering cover there second over. Yo Cheyenne Rocky is fifth. Third over Touch the Rock, and a Mega Lightning trails. It's still Escape the News at 3/4, 121 and 3, 27 and 4 third panel. Escape the News has dispensed with the challenge of Maytime Terror. A Sweet Ride now coming up wide. Touch the Rock follows him. Silent Swing has lost ground again on the inside. Top of the stretch, it's Escape the News. Opens up by 2. A Sweet Ride bearing down on him in the center of the track, but Escape the News still pacing well.
Escape the News was, as my favorite mini skirt wearing diva slash cougar would say, Tina Turner,
Yes.
was simply the best in here.
Oh.
With Matt Kakaley in the bike. I was trying to do a music reference because you like those.
I kinda liked it.
All right. Ron Burke is the trainer. Escape the News wins in 149 and 1 by 2 lengths. This was a big effort on the front. A Sweet Ride was second. Touch the Rock was third.
I thought you were going to do I'm your private dancer. You're dancing for money.
Thanks. I don't know where you're going with that or what you're assuming about me, but anyway.
All right. The 10th on Saturday, Mohegan Sun of Pocono Downs, number 3, Mears Hanover with Matt Kakaley was 3-2. Now, some of you out there go, 3-2, I don't want to bet a horse that's short of 3-2. But guess what? If you're in the casino, when you get blackjack, they pay you 3-2. And you're pretty excited because you used to get even money. Anything I can do to help, babe? Okay. Number 4, here we go again, off at 7-2 with Eric Ledford. Number 1, Live On with Eric Carlson was 4-1. And here's the call.
Safe Harbor takes the lead away from Mears Hanover. Second over now comes Here We Go Again. Nowhere for Live On to go. Townslight Hanover rallying as well. Top of the stretch, Safe Harbor is the new leader by about a length and a half. Here We Go Again on the outside, closing along with Townslight Hanover on the far outside. Townslight Hanover trying to get to Safe Harbor. Here We Go Again is there. It's close. It's Townslight Hanover.
It was a wild rush to the finish. Everybody was coming out of everywhere. Number 6, Townslight Hanover off at 9-2 with Andrew McCarthy. Got up to win it ahead in 149 and 3 over number 2, Safe Harbor, off at 6-1 with Ron Pierce. Here We Go Again was another head back in third. You think we're done? We ain't. Number 12, race number 12 on Saturday. And Heather's got that for you.
9 winners, $23,500. The last 5 starts. The purse is $21,000. Number 3 is Southwestern Dream, bettor's choice here, and the richest in the field with $980,000 in the bank. Number 8 is Flemin' M. Steve's favorite name for a horse. For some reason, it's named for mucus out of like the respiratory tract. Okay, so not sure. Don't ask. Right. Number 5 is Pence Hanover, going behind the gate for conditioner Aaron Lambert.
And now Flemin' M has opened up to about a length and 3/4. Ledford asking for more now. Southwestern Dream on the inside second. Pence Hanover is flattened out from far back. Muscles from Brussels. Top of the stretch. Flemin' M now in some trouble as Southwestern Dream rallying on the inside. Southwestern Dream and Flemin' M are toe-to-toe, and Southwestern Dream getting the best of it.
Southwestern Dream gets a garden spot journey and comes home in 27 and 3. I'm getting them. You want to know about Flemin' M? I know. Okay. They get to the wire first, 115.3. The reinsman is Matt Kakaley, trainer Ron Burke. Flemin' M left hard, cut the fractions, but had to settle for second. Okay, guess he needs his Mucinex or whatever takes care of Flem and M. Okay, show money went to Pence Hanover.
Stay with us. When we come back, we'll have more adventures of Flemin' M, and we'll have races from Harris Philly. Don't go away.
Blatantly Goods just a half in front. It's that times turning up the pressure.
When it's your time to shine, what will you do? At Mohegan Sun, wherever tonight takes you, it's your time to shine.
Hi there, Kim Asami, and welcome back to PA Harness Week. Along along with Heather Vitale, I'm Steve Ross. And you know, one of the leading drivers in the world, you may have heard his name, Tim Tetrick. Well, he's going to go under the knife very shortly. And our Sharla McBride caught up with him to get a look at his incision.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Tim Tetrick. Tim, we usually talk to you about your wins, your milestones, but we're going to talk about, well, your health a little bit. You're getting a hip replacement in December. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, December 17th, I'm going to go in and get my left hip replaced. I've already did my right one. I did it in 08. So I'm just going to get it done. You know, it's genetic. I've had it since I was a young kid, but it's just bone on bone, and it's got a lot of pain involved with it. So I'm just going to get it done, get the surgery, and, you know, hopefully I'll be back early next year.
How long will you have to recover for this?
Well, last one I was out 37 days. I was out back racing in 37 days, so kind of the same table if everything goes well. You know, surgery was actually really easy last time, and hopefully it'll do the same, but you know, looking at 40, 45 days.
Thank you much, Sharla. And Timmy, of course, we wish you all the best in your surgery. Get that new hip, and you are going to be like ultra hip. How hip will he be with a new hip?
How did you just steal my line?
Oh, darn it.
Yes. I was going to say, Timmy is so hip.
There you go. I don't even know if hip is a hip term to use anymore. The only word that transcends time is cool. Cool has always been a cool word. It'll always be a cool word. Hip, I don't know so much. Is this groovy still happening? I don't think so. Okay, race 7 at Harris Philly, condition pace. Non-winners of $17,500 in the last 5 starts, 20 dimes on the line. Number 5, Blatantly Good, who is blatantly good, but Tim Tetrick was a slight 6-5 chalk over number 4, Rockin Amadeus, off at 7-5 with Ron Pierce. Number 1, Bet the Moon, but Yannick Gingras was the 5-1 third choice. And here's James Whitwright with that call.
Blatantly Good's just a half in front. It's that times turning up the pressure. Hello, Hot Shots, towed up into contention wide of Rockin Amadeus. They're a joint third and just a length and 3/4 behind Blatantly Good's slim lead over It's That Time. Bet the Moon has pace, but absolutely nowhere to go with it, pinned in by Mudslide. And Cinderella Guy's last ahead stretch, 5 lengths would cover the lot. 3/4, 123 and 4. And Tetrick's getting after Blatantly Good for another 16th. Blatantly Good just a half in front. Here's Rockin Amadeus challenging up the inside. These two to the line.
Well, the betting public was having a real tough time figuring out who to make the chalk in this particular heat. But they were right in the end. After a 151 and 4 mile, the two favorites were only a sneeze apart, with Rockin Amadeus getting his schnoz there first. Blatantly Good, who cut the mile, took a tough beat and was second. Bet the Moon was third. The dead chalk exacta, not half bad, 15-20. 6-5 and 7-5. You got back 15-20 for your trouble? Hello.
Very nice.
Race 9 is next on your racing agenda, and the lovely Heather has it for you.
Thank you very much. Winners over Pacers here. The purse is $30,000. Number 6 is Statesman. He's made the most owed this year with $200,000 in the bank. Now, although Statesman is the race favorite, number 7, State Treasure, just beat Statesman in the preferred at Mohegan Sun at Pocono Downs in their last start together. So this should be interesting.
An outrageous art to length and 3/4 clear, with Statesman taking second facing the breeze. Uncle Goodfellow is staying even in the loose pocket spot. Now Napolitano kicks out the plugs. But Uncle Goodfellow is still going to be locked in at the quarter pole because State Treasure is staying close to Statesman in the outer flow. These 4 covered by just 2 lengths. Bet on the Law, close enough if good enough. He's 3.5 from the front, and then it's 4 farther back to the Bruiser or Rockin Hanover, and second wind last at head stretch. 3/4, 123 and 1. The field turns for home. Statesman takes the lead. Statesman just put away outrageous art down the outside. Bet on the Law's rallying. So is State Treasure driven to stay on. Statesman very tight.
Statesman raced super first over, and he ends up passing the pace setter. Outrageous art in the stretch, and the wire comes just in time for Statesman. Wins by just a neck in 1:15.3 with Corey Callahan in the bike. State Treasure came home with a super speedy 26 and 4, but just had to settle for second. Bet on the Law was third.
Those two are first and second every week. You're going to be loading up on a big exacta with those guys, right?
Yeah, it's like a state thing, right? State Treasure.
And their names kind of go together, too.
Statesman,
okay?
yeah.
Stick around. When we come back, we're going to have the Matron finals in your face. Some of the best horse racing flesh imaginable when we come back.
Vegas vacation on the outside up to get a short lead. Feel the action. Get a taste of victory. Spice things up. And play to win. Mohegan Sun, Off-Track Wagering, Allentown, Carbondale, East Stroudsburg. Always leave happy.
Hello there, you. Welcome back to PA Harness Week. She's Heather Vitale. I'm Steve Ross. Sunday's 10th at Dover Downs, the $160,000 Matron final. I was going to say $160 million, but I thought that would have been a little extreme. Okay, for 3-year-old colts and geldings, you wouldn't have gotten better pacing talent here if you gave away $160 million. Number 8, Sunshine Beach, the easiest kind of a limb winner, went off 4-5 with John Campbell. Number 7, Vegas Vacation with Brian Sears, 9-5. Number 3, Emeritus Maximus was 7-1 with Simon Lard. And here's that exciting call.
Sunshine Beach leads by almost 2 lengths. Emeritus Maximus is there. Here comes Vegas Vacation on the outside, followed by DD's Dragon toward the inside. Ronnie Bugatti back to 5th. Outside 6, Twilight Bonfire. And then it's Dr. Butch and Only the Lonely. They go by 3/4 and 121 and 1/5. They're midway on the final turn. And Vegas Vacation on the outside up to get a short lead as they come to the top of the stretch. Vegas Vacation, a hard use. Sunshine Beach holds the rail. They come off the turn. Vegas Vacation on the outside. Vegas Vacation edges by, coming through the stretch. Sunshine Beach is there, nearing the wire. Vegas Vacation.
Sunshine Beach took him to the 3/4 in 1:21-1 while parking Vegas Vacation. But in the stretch, Sunshine Beach bobbled and made a quick break and recovered, but not before Vegas Vacation went by to win it in 1:48-3. Sunshine Beach nipped Emeritus Maximus for second. You think that's the end? It ain't the end, because Heather's got the Philly version, and the big horse was in there, right?
Yes, that is right. First of all, the purse, $130 million. Oh, I mean $130,000.
Well, you couldn't get better talent in there if you gave away $130 million.
That's right. Okay. Yes. Number 4 is She Be Stingin'. Remember, in Lexington this year, she became the fastest female harness horse in history with that 147 mile.
Well, of course, She Be Stingin'. That's her name.
That's right. And she won her getting into the matron. The other elimination winner from last week was number 3, Jersey Licious, and she paid a really good price when she won that elimination, and sometimes she is very overlooked.
She Be Stingin' leads by almost 2 lengths. Jersey Licious on the outside, down toward the rail. Miss Kayla J. Fra back into second. 3/4, 121 and 2/5. Midway on the final turn, She Be Stingin', Miss Kayla J. Fra. Dropping back now, Jersey Licious toward the inside. Summertime Leah. They're at the top of the stretch, turning for home. And She Be Stingin' turns home, leading by 2 lengths. She Be Stingin' begins to pull away from Miss Kayla J. Fra.
She Be Stingin' was in Muhammad Ali mode. Yes, she takes
Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
You got the reference. She wins in a track record for 3-year-old pacing fillies in 1:49-1. She was just tremendous, coming home in 27-4, trained by Joe Holloway, driven by David Miller. Miss Kayla J. Fra was second, and then Summertime Leah was third.
All right, before we go, quick reminder again, please keep driver Anthony Coletta in your prayers. We would really appreciate that. He is fighting for his life as we speak as a result of that bad spill here at Harris Philly last week. And there's a number on the screen now if you care to make a contribution to help with his medical costs, which will be considerable. And we thank you so much for that. Get well, Anthony. We're all rooting for you, my friend. Okay, and for all of us here at PA Harness Week, Bruce Casella, Kelly Connors, Sharla McBride, and Heather Vitale, I'm Steve Ross, reminding you to pick up the pace, just a taste, and get high on harness.
It's only natural.
There they go. Explosive Matter wins the Colonial easily. Underway. Starting fast outside, Messenger to the air.